Naoya Inoue is a fighter who has redefined what it means to be a force of nature inside the boxing ring. Known across the world by his ominous nickname, the Monster, he is considered one of the most dangerous and efficient knockout artists of his era. Born in Japan, a country with a respectable but often underestimated boxing tradition, Inoue rose from obscurity to become a multi-division world champion, carrying with him an aura of inevitability. Each time he steps between the ropes, the air grows tense, and opponents understand they are about to face something far beyond ordinary human limits. The undefeated Japanese champion has not only carved out an impeccable record, but he has reshaped the perception of Japanese fighters in a sport long dominated by boxers from Mexico, the Philippines, the United States, and Latin America. Inoue's reputation is built not simply on victories, but on the way he secures them. He doesn't just outpoint his rivals. He dissects them, breaks them down, and often ends matters before the crowd has settled into their seats. From his earliest fights, his uncanny ability to deliver fight-ending power in both hands and to execute with machine-like precision has set him apart. To watch him fight is to witness controlled destruction, as if a predator had been dropped into the ring with prey that never truly had a chance. His left and right hands deliver punishment with equal menace, and his knack for targeting the body with merciless hooks has earned him a reputation as one of the most ruthless finishers in modern boxing. The story of Naoya Inoue is also the story of Japanese boxing's coming of age on the global stage. For decades, Japanese fighters often struggled to gain recognition outside their homeland. Many were technically sound, but their smaller frames and stylistic limitations kept them from achieving crossover fame. The lighter weight divisions, where Japanese boxers typically compete, have historically been dominated by Mexican and Filipino fighters, nations that have produced legends of the sport. Inoue changed that balance of power, proving that Japan could produce not just good fighters but a generational talent capable of terrifying opponents worldwide. Inoue's journey began with a remarkable debut run. Within only a handful of professional fights, he was already demolishing experienced opposition with the composure of a veteran. His fifth victory came with such authority that his team immediately pushed him toward a world title opportunity. By his sixth professional fight, he was facing one of the most feared men in the flyweight division, Adrien L. Confesor Hernandez, a proud Mexican who had already made 4 successful defenses of his WBC World Championship. It was a bold leap for such an inexperienced fighter, but Inoue showed no fear. On that night in Japan, he turned Hernandez into a shadow of himself, unloading fast combinations and shattering the champion's defenses. His counters came quicker than Hernandez could anticipate, and his body shots stole the Mexican's strength little by little. By the 6th round, a thudding right hand dropped the champion, and the referee stepped in to save him from further punishment. Inoue had his first major belt, and the boxing world took note. Incredibly, in only 6 fights, he was already a world champion, and analysts began to include him in pound-for-pound discussions. That victory was only the beginning. Inoue's rise was marked by a willingness to face bigger, taller, and more experienced opponents without hesitation. A bout against French contender Yoann Boyos showcased this. Boyos was much taller, with speed and length he believed would neutralize the Japanese fighter. Yet from the opening bell, the Frenchman was undone not by technical flaws but by sheer fear. Inoue walked him down with ferocious left hooks that landed with the force of a heavyweight. When a vicious body shot crashed into Boyos's ribs, the Frenchman crumbled to the canvas, folded like a chair, unable to beat the count. The ease with which Inoue dismantled Boyos reinforced the sense that he was no ordinary champion. He was a phenomenon. As Inoue's fame grew, so did the disrespect from some corners of the boxing world. Many Western fighters, accustomed to dismissing Japanese competition, mocked him. One particularly dismissive rival was British champion McDonald, who struggled even to pronounce Inoue's name in interviews. McDonald joked about calling him a new way, belittling the threat. Yet the joke turned serious within minutes of the opening bell of their encounter. McDonald, standing 6 feet tall with the reach of a welterweight, attempted to control distance with his jab. Inoue closed the gap almost instantly, and once he landed clean, the outcome was inevitable. Within the first round, a barrage of crushing shots left McDonald defenseless against the ropes. The referee waved the fight off, and McDonald learned Inoue's name the hard way. That victory propelled Inoue into the World Boxing Super Series, an elite tournament designed to crown the best bantamweight in the world. In his quarterfinal, he faced Juan Carlos Peano, a highly respected Dominican fighter ranked among the division's elite. Experts predicted a tough, technical battle, but what unfolded was a 70-second masterclass in destructive efficiency. Inoue launched a sharp jab followed by a perfectly timed straight right hand, a combination so precise it sent Peano flat on his back, unconscious before he hit the canvas. The knockout was named Ring Magazine's Knockout of the Year, and it confirmed to the world that Inoue was not just talented, he was terrifying. The semi-final of the tournament was supposed to be Inoue's greatest challenge yet, Puerto Rico's Emanuel Rodriguez, an undefeated champion with a reputation for durability and ring IQ. Rodriguez's team attempted psychological warfare in the build-up, even shoving Inoue's father and trainer, Shingo, during the pre-fight events. Calmly, Inoue absorbed the slight, promising silent retribution. When the bell rang, Rodriguez tried to establish himself with aggression and fast combinations. For a round, it looked competitive. Then Inoue unleashed his arsenal. A perfect left hook to the jaw sent Rodriguez to the canvas for the first time in his career. Moments later, another left hook buried into his liver, sending him down again, this time in agony. In 2 brutal rounds, the undefeated champion was dismantled. The supposed unbreakable chin of Rodriguez was shattered, and the Japanese monster marched into the final. Even before his tournament triumph, Inoue had already made a statement in the United States. Against Cleveland's Antonio Nieves, an outspoken American who dismissed Inoue as untested, the Japanese star delivered a sustained beating. Nieves tried to fight back, but the difference in class was overwhelming. Inoue's body shots landed with a thudding sound that echoed in the arena, leaving Nieves gasping for breath. Round after round, the monster broke him down with surgical precision, punishing him with hooks to the liver and head. By the 6th round, Nieves's corner mercifully stopped the fight, unwilling to allow further damage. Inoue had conquered American television with a performance that silenced doubters and earned him new fans. As his career advanced, the legend of the monster only grew. Analysts marveled at his ability to deliver heavyweight power in a bantamweight frame. His knockout percentage climbed into the stratosphere, one of the highest in boxing history across all weight classes. Rivals admitted privately that signing a contract to face him was like volunteering to step into a cage with a predator. Few could withstand the pressure, the precision, and above all, the power. He did not need reckless exchanges to find openings. His timing, composure, and anticipation meant that sooner or later, his opponents would crumble. Inoue's rise also carried broader meaning for Japanese boxing. For decades, fighters from his country had been seen as regional stars at best, rarely breaking into the consciousness of the wider boxing public. Inoue shattered that perception. His victories against Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, British, and Americans proved that Japan could produce a pound-for-pound superstar. His dominance forced fans and analysts to rank him alongside the sport's global elite, fighters like Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, and Alexander Usyk. Some even dared to argue he surpassed legends such as Manny Pacquiao in efficiency and destructive brilliance. Part of what makes Inoue unique is not just his physical gifts but also his mentality. He carries himself with calm composure outside the ring, rarely engaging in trash talk, but inside the ropes he becomes a relentless hunter. His ability to shift from defense to explosive offense in the blink of an eye is unmatched. He can jab patiently for minutes, studying his prey, and then launch a lightning-fast hook or straight that ends the night instantly. The discipline instilled by his father, Shingo, who has trained him from the beginning, ensures that every punch is thrown with purpose, every movement is measured. There is no wasted motion, no reckless abandon, only ruthless efficiency. As his legend grew, so too did the aura of fear around him. Fighters from traditional boxing nations openly admitted their reluctance to face him. Some champions vacated belts rather than risk a unification bout with the monster. The idea of being hit by Inoue became a nightmare scenario. Analysts noted that he was not only knocking people out but doing so in ways that left them writhing in pain, particularly from his devastating body shots. Liver punches that fold opponents in half have become a signature, and seasoned pros who had never been dropped before found themselves unable to beat the count after tasting his power. Inoue's career is often described as the poetry of violence. He embodies the paradox of beauty and brutality in boxing. His footwork, timing, and precision create a kind of artistry, while the thudding ends of his combinations deliver devastation. Fans watch not just for the outcome but for the performance itself, the chilling anticipation of when the monster will decide to strike. He rarely wastes time, and when he sees an opening, he closes the show with finality. The impact of Naoya Inoue extends beyond titles and accolades. He has inspired a generation of Japanese fighters, proving that they can not only compete but also dominate at the highest levels. His presence has elevated Japan's boxing culture, drawing international attention and respect. Young fighters now dream of following in his footsteps, knowing that the barriers of recognition have been broken. When fans and experts rank boxing nations, Japan is now mentioned alongside Mexico, the Philippines, and the United States, largely because of Inoue's achievements. He has not only won world titles in multiple divisions, but has done so in spectacular fashion, dismantling elite opponents with frightening ease. He has rewritten the balance of power in the lower weight classes, ensuring that the bantamweight and super bantamweight divisions are no longer viewed as mere stepping stones but as must-watch showcases of elite talent. In every fight, Naoya Inoue reminds the world why he is called the monster. His story is not just about a boxer winning titles. It is about the embodiment of fear in a sport built on courage. He is a man who turns champions into victims, who takes prideful warriors and reduces them to survival mode within minutes. His punches carry not only power but also finality, a sense that once they land, there is no return. Naoya Inoue has become a symbol of inevitability in boxing. His record speaks for itself: undefeated, a knockout percentage that defies belief, and victories against champions across continents. He represents the highest form of controlled destruction in the sport, a predator disguised as a polite and quiet man from Japan. Each time he fights, the question is not if he will win, but how and when he will finish the opponent. That is why he is feared, respected, and celebrated as one of the greatest fighters of his generation. Inoue's journey is still being written, but what he has already achieved ensures his place in history. From a young man fighting for recognition in a country often overlooked in boxing to a global superstar commanding the respect of fans and fighters alike, his rise has been nothing short of extraordinary. He is more than a champion. He is the monster, a living embodiment of fear and power, and the standard by which future generations of fighters will be measured.